led the list, accounting for 22% of all problems. There was some good news for average car buyers. Mainstream brands like Toyota, Buick, Chevrolet, and Honda are catching up to the luxury brands in the reliability rankings.
Correspondent Wally Hines reporting home sales hit their fastest pace in about 10 years. The National Association of Realtors says sales of existing homes rose 3.3% last month from December. Steady job gains, modest pay raises, and consumer confidence spurring home buying even as borrowing costs rise. The typical house for sale remaining on the market for 50 days compared with 64 days a year ago. Median home prices jumped 7.1% from a year earlier to $228,900. Town Hall News.
I'm Robin Trzynski from the Original Mattress Factory. If you're in the market for a new mattress, this is your wake-up call. Have you noticed something strange is happening? Suddenly, there are as many mattress stores as there are coffee shops. Why? What's really going on? Are they competitors or something else? Every holiday, a different sale. Every day, a different price. Do you think it is their intention to confuse us? My father Ron told me, trust your gut. It knows what your head hasn't figured out yet. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have never had a sale. Why? Well, let's just say the usual mattress sales don't fit our values. Our formula is comfort, support, and durability at a fair price. How? Your original mattress is designed here, made here, and only sold here. Looking for an honest price on a hand-built mattress? No reason to wait for a holiday to shop. Today works for us too. The Original Mattress Factory. Thoughtfully made, honestly priced. OriginalMattress.com.
Tonight! There we go. They're building a 15-story tall tower at Coronado Springs, and no, it's not themed to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, darn it. Missed opportunity.
It's going to be a comic. You can now get a picture with an Oscar at Hollywood Studios. And no, I'm not talking about the gas station. And Joe Rohde is explaining how Avatar fits into Animal Kingdom. That's right. The guy who has 12 pounds of earring on one earlobe is telling you how to fit something in somewhere. You've read WDW News Today. Now you'll experience WDW News Tonight.
Live from Orlando, Florida, WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Park news, presents WDW News Tonight. Now, here are your hosts, Tom Corless and Nick LoCicero.
Hooray! Fake applause! Woo! Yep. I'm Tom Corless. You're not Nick LoCicero in there. Thank you, Michelle.
You're so welcome.
Jason Diffendahl somewhere in the control booth out in internet land.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It has been a week.
It's time. It's time to do it all again. What are we doing over here? Changing the light bulbs?
Michelle is like climbing on a chair.
How many WDWNT announcers does it take to change a light bulb?
7!
7.
Sorry, it wouldn't move.
You're listening to the world's only radio show about Disney theme parks, WDW News Tonight. And yeah, it's good to be back. Nick, you have a good week?
You know, I had a fantastic week. Did some Rivers of Light.
You did. You did see the show once.
Yeah. You know, I didn't have time. It's so long. I didn't have time to fit it into my schedule too many times. So, Jason liked that. Other than that, just been getting along, doing good. Forgetting my webcam. You know, the usual.
Forgot your webcam again. So can we turn to Nick for a second, Jason?
Are you sure you want to?
Yes. For those of you watching in the video feed, you're going to enjoy this.
I'm the Flash.
Yeah. So when Nick moves, it's just like this
I am
blur.
the fastest man alive.
Wow. What you should have done, what would have been amazing, is if you did that and then you came back with like 20 race medals on. That would have been great. All right, enough of that. And now the news! Brought to you by T-Public. Last week, Disney shared changes that are on the horizon at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort over the next 2 years, including a new 15-story tower that will add 500 rooms featuring suites and concierge-level services. You know, I've often said, I like Coronado Springs, but it's just too small and quaint.
Yeah.
The joke is that it is a large resort and it is hard to get around.
It's huge.
It takes a while to walk around that lake. Yeah.
Huge with a Y.
The resort will also refurbish its current resort rooms and transform its landscape with floating gardens and an island oasis that connects the resort through a series of bridges, you know, so you don't have to walk twice the size of Manhattan to get to the lobby.
Gondolas would be cool.
Gondolas.
But like the boat ones.
Yeah.
Not the sky ones.
A gondola of any size would smell as sweet, right? That made 0 sense, but I'm sticking with it. The new tower overlooking Lago Dorado, the resort's centerpiece lake, will allow guests to experience something truly unique. Rooftop dining with panoramic views of popular nighttime fireworks. Because that's never been done before. Where else can you do that?
It'd be fun. They gonna charge for some Coronado dessert parties up there?
I'm sure they will.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
Also, during this exciting time, Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort will be reimagined with new additions to the resort's current marketplace, Centertown, including new waterfront dining and retail shopping areas. The centralized location will offer the resort guests more convenient access to services, amenities, and dining, except over the next 10 months when they are forced to eat from a food truck. Yes. So, yeah, in case you missed it, the old Port Royale food court, Shutters, Banana Cabana Pool Bar, and the Calypso Trading Post at Caribbean Beach are all going to be closed starting May 1st, 2017, as part of the ongoing reimagining of the resort. You know, Nick, I thought about making a joke that Shutters will be shuttered, but I figured that'd be hard to swallow.
Yeah. Okay.
Much like their food.
You know, Shutters is also a nickname used currently for Hollywood Studios and Coronado Springs and STK.
Hey!
So fun story. They got rid of their lunch. There's no more lunch during the week.
Oh wow!
I tweeted that today, and STK responded that brunch is the new lunch. I guess they're going to launch.
Oh my!
A brunch service on weekend.
I could do that.
But they're not underperforming, ladies and gentlemen. They just got rid of lunch during the week. They're not like having problems.
But who wants to go there for lunch? Did they do the whole DJ thing at lunch too? Or is it just a nighttime thing?
No,
do you go for
too
the
early
DJ?
for clubbing.
I don't know. Well, I don't know why you would go there for lunch. It's a steak place.
You can eat steak for lunch.
Yeah, why can't you eat steak for lunch? I'd rather have it for lunch. It has time to digest.
I don't know about that, but you can certainly have a steak for lunch.
When you eat it for dinner, then it's just sitting there.
Yeah, but then you dance because it's also a nightclub.
You know,
if I
when
could dance after steak.
You know, when steak's on a bagel, you could have steak anytime.
When pizza's on
That's
a bagel.
going to be their brunch. It's going to be steak bagels.
Steak bagels.
I think they saw the big boat down the way do brunch, and they were like, "Oh,
They did, because Paddlefish is
that.
amazing.
Yeah.
And way better than STK, and you should just go there.
That's good.
But anyway, moving on. Where are we? Okay, so starting at that time, May 1st, Centertown at Caribbean Beach is going to serve breakfast and dinner, and a variety of grab-and-go options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be available at the food trucks located in Aruba, Jamaica, and Martinique.
Aruba, Jamaica.
Because nothing says the Caribbean like a food truck.
To a food truck, oh baby.
Yeah. So, in short, if you're looking to eat at Caribbean Beach later this year, I guess you could say you are Old Port royally screwed.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm so proud of that.
That's really good. That's good.
It's the one good one you get this year, folks. Enjoy it. Old Port royally screwed. Can I say that on the air?
You did.
Okay.
Twice now.
Did you hit the dump
I did
button
not
twice?
hit that big yellow button.
Okay.
So,
but is
we'll
that
see.
word bad? Should I
No.
not say that?
No, screwed is fine, especially this late at night.
It's preferable. It'd be like having steak for lunch. It makes no sense any earlier. Anyway.
Not at that location, it doesn't.
The pricing of the express bus service at Walt Disney World has been raised. As of today, the service is now $19 for the day and $29 for the week. Funny, these are the same daily and weekly prices you'll find on OBT.
Gotta be a local to get that one.
I think everybody knows what we're talking about.
At this point, yeah. They have to.
Hopefully they've never been there.
That's how you get desensitized to belts. But anyway, this week, it's an off-air inside joke. This week, Disney, this is the worst show we've done. This week, Disney released a new video showcasing Pandora, the world of Avatar. In the video, Imagineer Joe Rohde explains how Avatar will fit thematically into the park. The video is of Joe Rohde saying the word poorly. Disney previewed a number of limited edition pin series for 2017. This week, there will be a limited edition of 1,500 piece of Disney history series once again that will be resort-specific to Walt Disney World and resort-specific to pieces of Cabana's 9B from Coronado Springs. Get it? Because it's being demolished.
See, when you have to explain the joke, it's not nearly as funny.
That's why we have you on the show, Michelle. Thank you. What I think will be coolest to those of you who read WDWNT.com will be the Disneyland Pirates of the Caribbean 50th Anniversary Collection being released in March, and also a 45th Anniversary Collection for the Jungle Cruise at Walt Disney World coming out in May. That's right. The second ever Jungle Cruise is getting merchandise for its 45th anniversary several months after the fact, which will be the same amount of merchandise that the 50th anniversary of one of the most quintessential attractions in theme park history is getting.
Seem upset.
I want that to sink in.
Are you upset?
All they're doing for Pirates of the Caribbean 50th is pins, which is what they're doing. We'll knock the cup over. What they're doing 6 months later for the Jungle Cruise, the second one ever built at Walt Disney World. Not even a joke. That's a real thing. Anyway. New pins are typically released on Thursdays at the Disney parks, or likely before the opening of Pandora, the world of Avatar. Jason, there's people getting here. There's Nick's blur.
It's like a rave. Yeah.
Michelle is in nonstop. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys.
We're here for. I gotta have glow sticks. That'd be great.
Yes.
What about
I'll
some
get
glow
you some.
sticks?
Glow with the
I
show.
know a guy.
Does he fly a helicopter? No, they're inside joke. Running now through February 26th, 2017. Guests visiting Disney's Hollywood studios will be able to act like a superstar in a one-of-a-kind photo op. The photo op features a backdrop complete with the iconic statuette from the Oscars, which will be located inside Walt Disney One Man's Dream, where, of course, now anything goes.
Anything goes. I like that song.
That mug is still not out at Jacqueline. It's been like a year and a half. It's still not out. Guests are encouraged to share their Hollywood studios, quote-unquote, my Oscar moment using hashtag Oscars at Walt Disney World on Twitter, at least until someone turns it into something inappropriate.
It'll be 5 seconds.
Jimmy Kimmel, of course, is hosting the Oscars Live. Oscar Sunday, February 26th at 7.
7?
Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on ABC.
I can't believe you put the time of the Oscars in there just to do a 7 joke. That's amazing. That's a
Thank
new
you.
low.
It really works when you point it out.
That's a new low.
Like I said, when you have to
Yeah.
explain the jokes, gentlemen.
You want to write these, Michelle? You could write.
No.
Okay.
I enjoy this too much.
The Disney Parks blog announced that BB-8 will soon be meeting park guests at Hollywood Studios starting this spring at the Star Wars launch bay. The meet and greet will debut at Star Wars Galactic Nights and last until Brazilian kids think it's a soccer ball.
No, that's a good one, Tom.
Oh,
You see, because BB-8 is round.
the jar is round, the lid is round.
There is
Why
no
don't they call
spoon.
it round tea? Anyway. So many inside jokes tonight. Oh.
Anything goes.
We should just have her sing it from now. We don't even need the clip. See that? Someone said once the Edison opens, STK will close.
In orange. I had a grapefruit just for the show, too.
What are you two talking? I'm in the middle of a show.
So are we.
So you're just talking about fruit?
We're snacking in
You know
here.
we're on
Relevant.
FM radio.
Relevant.
now.
We have some fruit in the studio.
We're talking about
there was
Michelle eating fruit.
There was a pleasant odor in here for once. What is that?
Well, it wasn't Nick's skunk
skunk.
coffee.
Yeah.
Skunk coffee. I had to counteract
Wait,
it.
what?
I walked down the hallway before and I said to
Coffee
Michelle,
smells
is there
like
a
a skunk.
skunk out here? And she goes, oh, Nick's making coffee.
Seriously? What's up with my coffee?
I don't know.
It's
It
gorgeous.
smells like skunk.
Wonderful.
It's gorgeous.
Your coffee's gorgeous.
It's delicious.
That's better.
Anyway. Can I continue with
Yes,
the
please.
show?
So sorry.
There's people like listening and watching this live right now.
Locally sourced milk.
I'll give you some
With your
locally
locally
sourced
sourced
milk.
money.
OBT for all your locally sourced milk.
Don't make me tell you where faith comes from, Tom. Don't make me tell you.
In Disney's continuing effort to make sure no one goes there, they have closed the secondary bag check and walkway used to enter Disney's Hollywood studios. This path was often used by more knowledgeable guests to enter the park, as fewer guests would travel this way. It also had its own dedicated security bag check and metal detector in recent years. It was located just off to the left of the main park entrance.
Tom, that's the way we went, right?
Yes.
Why'd they close it?
I don't know, to spite me. They want me to burn this sweatshirt at some point.
They want to funnel all the terrorists through the other side.
Wow.
Makes sense.
The path will now act as a guest and tumbleweed exit from the park. All guests will be required to travel through the main entrance, security checkpoint, and future gondola terminal directly in front of Disney's Hollywood Studios when entering. The previously announced Joffrey's Coffee kiosk, it's hard to say, at the Magic Kingdom now has a name, Revive. Maybe that should be the name of the one at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, bazinga.
Joffrey's Coffee has confirmed our speculation that the construction near Space Mountain is for the new kiosk, opening in March, also before Pandora, the World of Avatar. The location will... Why do
See, orange.
Where was I? So yeah, before Pandora, the location will even offer a beverage exclusive to the Magic Kingdom Park, the More S'mores Latte, made of espresso, rich chocolate sauce, sweet marshmallow syrup,
Oh my God.
whipped cream, graham cracker sprinkles, marshmallows, and all the LeFou's brew they had to throw out the night before.
That'd be delectable.
The new drink will be available hot or iced.
I want that right now.
That sounds good. Now
It does
I'm
sound
ready
good.
for it.
Wow.
But when you can't have alcohol, you gotta
Getting that every
figure
day.
things out, Joffrey. Marvel has announced that Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout #1, a one-shot comic book based on the upcoming ride at DCA, will be available for purchase this May. There will also be a few variant covers, including one with a paper bag over it.
That's great.
Looks like a paper bag. So let me get this straight. There's a comic book inspired by an attraction that's inspired by a movie that's inspired by a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
That's inspiration if I've ever heard it.
Full circle. Synergy.
There you go. Jungle Cruise, Joe. Anyway. Imagine being able to delight in the sparkle of the Magic Kingdom fireworks from an intimate and private observation.
Yes.
Celebration at the Top, a new dining event coming to California Grill at the Contemporary, can be perfectly summed up in 3 words. All your money.
I like it.
Celebration at the Top guests can check in an hour before fireworks after being whisked up to the California Grill, which sits on the 15th floor of Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. I mean Contemporary Resort. Guests will then be taken to the intimate and secluded banquet room. They can enjoy, is that canapes? Is that what that is?
Canapes.
Canapes.
Is it
Canapé.
canapes? What is that?
They're hors d'oeuvres. They're vegetables. A canapé is like a
Like not a fresh
like
pea.
a
It can't
dip.
get a can.
Okay.
Canapes.
oh, a
What a
canapé.
bunch of idiots. Oh my God. Guys are the worst.
Basically, it is a veggie tray. That's a canapé.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, because the green veggies form a canopy over the tray, serving platter.
Nick, please shut up. Please. I'm begging you. We have only so much time.
Fan-ly Feud coming up.
A selection of sushi rolled by expert California Grill sushi chefs. A selection of flatbreads and other small plates. A quote-unquote complimentary bar offering craft beers, California wine, cordials, and coffee will also be available. Is anything complimentary when you pay $100 to go to this? I'm pretty sure you're paying for everything there.
Like
So-
when you get the free gift when you pay to go to the pin trading event.
I
Oh, there you go.
Same thing.
No one
It's
ever says
$100
free.
a person?
Then plus tax and gratuity.
Oh Lord.
Just before the night spectacular begin, guests will be led to their private observation deck, which offers stunning views of the Magic Kingdom Park and broken down monorails.
So you can't walk out there anymore because you used to be able to go out the side door, go past those banquet rooms, and then go out to the observation deck.
Well, I think this is the other deck. I think it's going to be the deck on the other side.
Oh, okay.
The side not facing the Magic Kingdom.
Right, that's
I
the
think
side
you
I'm
could
talking
still
about.
see it. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm going Sunday. So we're going to find out. See what happens.
Sunday.
Breathtaking sights and sounds. Guests can then return to their private room for desserts, including decadent chocolate confections and fruit tarts. Or basically all of the popped art that wasn't sold at the Festival of the Arts. There you go. Reservations for Celebration of the Top are now open for Sunday evenings, February 26th or April 16th. The cost is $99 per person, plus tax and gratuity, which is still $6 less than the Disney After Hours ticket. Complimentary valet parking is included if the lady at the front knows what this is. They'll let you in. What's Tables in Wonderland? Is that in here? Yes, ma'am. A dress code is also in place to be able to attend this event. So, sorry, Nick, no tank tops. Moving on. We recently told you about a new Beauty and the Beast inspired overlays that are coming to Disneyland. One of those is the remodeling of Pinocchio Village House into a French tavern-themed quick-service restaurant, aptly named the Red Rose Tavern. The restaurant will open on February 24, 2017, and Disney has shared its first look at the authentic French cuisine, which, of course, includes a cheeseburger, a chicken sandwich, and flatbreads.
For real?
Yeah.
That's sad.
The Red Rose Tavern will be available for a limited time until the decals start falling off. Of course, the news was brought to you by our partners at TeePublic. Michelle, tell them all about TeePublic and tonight's sale.
Well, don't forget to shop apparel and accessories for Disney fans through WDWNT.com and TeePublic. Just go to WDWNT.com and click the TeePublic ad to shop for hundreds of designs for t-shirts, phone cases, prints, and more, including exclusive WDWNT and WDW News Tonight logo apparel, as well as original creations such as Figaro is a Cat, Seven, Make the Movie Ride Great Again, and more. Don't miss TeePublic's sale going on right now, where you can get all of the shirts in our store for just $14. I just bought one.
It's a steal. It's a good deal.
It really is. And then you add shipping and it's still a good deal. So it's great. Make the most of tonight's commercial breaks and shop through our extensive collection. TeePublic, an official partner of WDW News Tonight.
Hey, Nick.
Yo.
Oh, are we going to commercial?
What would you like to do?
Do we need more contestants or are we good?
Oh, actually, yes. Fan-ly Feud. We're playing the Fan-ly Feud tonight. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
And we pre-registered some contestants, but some failed to respond. So we do have 2 slots open. We have 2 spaces open for 2 contestants to play the Fan-ly Feud tonight. You'll each be paired up with 2 other strangers / teammates to try to win this game tonight.
What's the phone number?
Of course, courtesy of Theme Park Connection. And the phone number to get on and play the game is 407-774-8255. That's 407. Let me repeat it again. 407-774-8255, which also spells talk.
It does.
It does.
Very informative.
Thank
It
you.
also spells tall.
Please tell me all the permutations.
That's it. We couldn't figure out any other ones. That was it.
Lat.
No, what?
It's tall backwards.
All
Well,
right,
it
folks.
doesn't spell that.
We'll be right
The
back with
numbers
this
are in the order
disaster
they're
in
in.
progress.
Hello, I'm Tom Corless, the most famous man in the Disney online community. But you know, it wasn't always this way. For 9 years, WDWNT.com posted photo reports and videos of the highest quality, but it seemed that no one outside of a very dedicated group of fans were able to find our work. But then, I discovered the secrets of blogging, and now WDWNT is read by millions of people each and every month. I'm ready to share my secrets with you in my incredible new class, Tom Corliss's Unofficial Guide to Blogging, this weekend at the Orlando International Airport Marriott. In this fantastic course, you'll learn amazing things to improve your clicks and page views, such as when to use the word breaking in all caps, how to misguide readers in your titles in order to get more clicks, how to come across vaguely racist in movie reviews, how to turn a number into a catchphrase and huge merchandise sales, how to steal stories from California randos off of Twitter, and how to piss off that one really scary guy on WDW Magic who may have women trapped in his basement. So come on down to the Orlando International Airport Marriott this weekend and take my course for only $77.77 per person. In no time, you'll be the new king of clickbait, the grand poobah of page views, and the sultan of ad sales. And don't worry about your readers. They'll never even realize you're dumbing down your content. See you real soon, suckers!
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too. Call right now. 800-648-9175. 800-648-9175. 800-648-9175. That's 800-648-9175.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
Through time and space, together we race.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. We are live on 105.5 FM, AM 660 and AM 1520 in Orlando. We're also live, of course, on YouTube, but also at listen.wdwnt.com. And, of course, on WDWNT, the app. Thank you for joining us once again. We got the Fan-ly Feud coming up in a few minutes, but we got some pressing issues. It's been a big couple of weeks. We've had to stop and do these kind of news talk things the last couple of weeks. But I want to bring joining us from around WDWNT.com, Jason Diffendahl, David Smith, I believe, with us as well.
Yep.
Guys, I want to talk about Coronado Springs. Maybe if we have time, Kirby Beach. I want to talk about this Coronado Springs expansion, which is huge. A bigger parking lot, a 15-story building with concierge and a rooftop restaurant. This was a moderate resort, and now seemingly much more. Another 500 rooms to what was already a giant hotel. What exactly do you think is going on here?
Well, first, I think it's clear it's not a moderate resort anymore. They're definitely pushing it into the deluxe area. I think the big question is, and you've brought this up on the site previously, is this going to be an actual deluxe resort or is it a business deluxe? And I would suspect the latter. I think they are definitely trying to build this to attract business travelers and conventions and take some of the load off some of the other convention centers in the area. I mean, that it almost seems painfully obvious to say that, but I definitely think that's the direction they're going.
Yeah, and we would assume it would be hard to make the existing rooms, even with a remodel, make them deluxe, because I think one of the hallmarks of the deluxe resorts has always been interior hallways. And so I think it'd be really went and closed every building, which they're not going to do, to make the rest of the resort deluxe. But I think clearly the 500 rooms in the tower will likely be deluxe, and then The other rooms will be made business adequate because most business people who aren't Disney people that stay at Coronado will often say, yeah, it's a nice hotel, but the room doesn't fit any of my actual business needs. So at least the tower will be deluxe, and it seems the rest of the resort will kind of just be moderate pricing.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I think, when Contemporary was a deluxe resort, and then you had the wings. The wings were always kind of like second-class citizens.
Yeah.
The rooms were a lot cheaper, but you were kind of not in the cool place to be.
But then priced accordingly, typically.
And priced accordingly, absolutely. So I think Coronado's gonna end up being like that, where the people that can afford the tower are gonna stay in the tower, and the people that have to watch their budget, especially for business travel. Not everybody's on an open-ended expense account. So the people that have to watch their budget are certainly going to opt for the regular rooms. And as long as there's a desk and some internet and, whatever in there that they need for business purposes, that's going to be adequate. So I think actually, I think it's going to work out well. I think it's going to be better than something like the Yacht and Beach or the Contemporary, simply because they're going to have two different tiers of room rates at the same resort for the business people.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense if you're going to have most conventions moving here, it does make some sense to have a variation of room options. So that way, I'm sure there's people at the same convention. Some people are going to go have a great time, get a really nice room, and really live it up. And there's some people that just are going to go and would like a cheaper option, and that's where the older, moderate rooms will come in. And it makes a lot of sense, especially if Contemporary's not going to have a convention center in 4 or 5 years. Expanding this one and doing all this seems to make a lot of sense. But then there are things that also still seem to cater, they'll cater to the convention crowd. There are things that I think excite regular Walt Disney World visitors, like people listening and watching the show. I think the idea of that central island where they're finally going to sort of connect all of Coronado in the middle and make things a little more manageable to walk is really great. But then also they're putting in a rooftop restaurant with fireworks views. I mean, that's something that appeals across the board, and they're going to get a lot of regular tourists showing up with stuff like that.
I mean, are they expecting that you're going to be able to see Epcot fireworks from there?
Well, Hollywood Studios for sure.
Okay, yeah, Hollywood Studios, which is fine. Yeah, Epcot is pretty much. I mean, Epcot is going to be the fireworks you're going to watch when they build the Caribbean Beach Tower, which may or may not have a restaurant on top of it. Yes, but yeah.
Which sounds like it's going to be almost the same thing, another 15 stories, but vacation club in that case. And with a gondola, maybe. It seems that's what's going to happen. Let me ask, both of you guys are DVC. I want to ask, what would make you buy at Caribbean Beach? What on earth would be the reason to own at Caribbean Beach? How would the gondolas and a tower be enough to make Caribbean Beach wanted?
I think the answer to that is really, David, do you know what properties are they currently selling right now?
The only ones I know of are Alani,
Polynesian.
And Poly. I think they still have some Poly left.
That's it.
That's it.
So Kidani's sold out at this
even
point.
Saratoga.
Yes. Saratoga's gone.
Saratoga's been gone. Right. So what would
Copper Creek will be on the market shortly, we believe.
Yep. Yeah. So Copper Creek will be on the market shortly, but Copper Creek is not a big resort. That's going to sell fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And then so essentially what's going to make you buy at Caribbean Beach is if you don't want to buy in Hawaii.
Right.
They're going to be
Which
your
is pretty enticing.
Yeah, well, so Alani's going to...
What would stop people from just being like, I don't want to, I'll wait for the next one. I know there'll be another.
You can,
Is Caribbean Beach enticing enough, though? Like, even with a gondola and that building, would it be enticing enough?
I think if your other choice is Alani and you don't want to buy in Hawaii, because you don't ever think you're going to go there, then yeah, that's what's going to entice you. They're going to.
But are people going to feel cheated that they're going to get a converted deluxe essentially?
No, because they know
we know Bay Lake Tower 2 is somewhere down the line. Why wouldn't people just wait?
I actually think they will. I think there are going to be people that are waiting. I think the only thing they can do to make it attractive is come in at a lower price point than some of the other deluxe resorts. And I know they're hesitant to do that because of how it devalues the value of all
wouldn't
points
that throw
across
off
the board.
The whole system?
It does a little bit, but I'm not sure how else they do it.
I think the way they do it is sort of like the same way that Saratoga did it. You know, there was no compelling reason to buy Saratoga Springs because the prices were the same as the Poly, the Grand, Aulani, Aulani, but Kidani Village was for sale at that time. The price per point is the same. The way that Saratoga did it, and did it somewhat, I wouldn't say it was super effective because it did take a long time to sell out. But then again, they had an enormous amount of inventory. Yeah. Was that the points per night is at a lower price. And so when you're booking and you have the home resort window at 11 months, you are able to book a resort that costs less per night for your points than Wilderness or Beach Club or Bay Lake or Poly or Grand. So, if you're looking to make the most value out of your points, and the points per night cost for the rooms at Caribbean are significantly less than, maybe they're going to be less even than Saratoga. That's going to be attractive to people who can only afford to buy, say, 100 points and are going to try to make a week's vacation out of it every year.
Right.
They need to stretch the points. And so that sort of priority period for the owners at that resort is going to be important to be able to get in there and do that. So I think in my mind, there's enough reasons to buy there. Certainly some people will wait, but some people are also going to say, well, I'm not going to wait because I know the price is just going to go up anyway. So between the price, between the people that don't want to wait, there's going to be enough inventory for them, but not so much inventory like an enormous resort like Saratoga. So I think they're not going to worry because there's not going to be that much inventory that it's going to take forever to sell.
Right.
There may still be some Caribbean beach inventory left when Bay Lake 2 comes around, but that's kind of what they want. Disney has been in a situation in the past where, they didn't really have a resort to sell. And that was very bad for DVC because they could talk to people and try to sell. But when people said, well, what am I buying? They're like, well, we kind of don't have a resort right now to sell. So they don't want to be in that position either, which I think so. Caribbean fits nicely because there's not going to be a huge demand, but there's also not a huge supply. It's balanced out pretty nicely.
Guys, we're going to spend a lot more time on this on the podcast, which will be out this a lot more. But thank you guys very much. We'll see you guys. And next hour, we're finally going to finish off that transportation conversation we have to finish up. All right, Nick, let's play the feud. Oh, you, Nick. What are we doing?
You got it in front of you.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Am I starting with this?
Yes,
that's fine.
please.
We didn't rehearse this.
Go for it.
Before we introduce tonight's contestants, let's go over the playing rules. All answers were taken from real polls conducted by WDWNT. Time permitting, we'll play 5 rounds. At the beginning of each round, I'll ask a member of each of our 2 teams to face off for control of the board. After the poll question is asked, the contestant may buzz in by saying the word, a word we're giving them. Team 1, your word will be buzz. So you can say buzz. And Team 2's word to buzz in will be Woody. Get it? Get it, Nick? You're so smart.
Oh, look at that.
Whoever guesses the more popular answer in the survey can pass or play on the round. Starting with the next team member line, each gets a chance to give one answer. Team members may not confer while in control of the board. The team gets a strike if a player gives an answer not on the board or fails to respond. 3 strikes causes the team to relinquish control of the board, giving the other team a chance to steal the points in the bank by correctly guessing one of the remaining answers still on the board. The entire team then confers on an answer to be given, and if the team guesses the remaining answer correctly, they get all of those points. All right, so let's go ahead and meet our teams. Nick, introduce the team.
Go ahead, Michelle.
No rehearsal.
It's all good. It's all good.
Please welcome Team 1 from Nova Scotia, Canada, Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
All right.
Long distance.
International.
Love it. Yeah.
From Illinois, we have Chuck.
Hello.
Hi. And from right here in the Sunshine State, we have John.
Hello.
It was raining today.
Well, that's why I said that.
So thank you guys. So Rebecca, Chuck, and John, you are team 1. So your word to buzz in if you know the answer on the face-off is buzz. Okay. All right. Now let's hear from team 2.
Please welcome Team 2 from Pennsylvania. We have Stephen.
Hello.
Or Stefan. Which do you prefer?
Stephen, you were right.
Stephen. All right. From Washington, D.C., Nicole.
Unmute your mic, Nicole. Hello. There we go.
There
Awesome.
we go.
Hi, Nicole.
Very excited.
And from New Orleans, or Norlands, we've got Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Ooh, hello.
This is not the dating game.
Oh, man, I missed my shot.
Oh, wait, no.
Anyway.
Michelle just wants to go to New Orleans and party. So we
Mardi
did
Gras this weekend.
I've never been.
Oh,
it's a filthy city, but a good time.
So
thank you very much.
All right, so we have Stephen, Nicole, and Nick on team 2. Your word to buzz in on the face-off is Woody. Woody. All right, so we're gonna bring up Stephen and Nicole for our first face-off here. No, wait, Stephen and Rebecca. Stephen and Rebecca. I'm already messing myself up.
Right?
Yep.
All right, round 1. Name an attraction that is no longer open at Hollywood Studios.
Buzz.
That would be Rebecca.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Streets of America.
We don't have the board.
Do we have the board? Yeah, I was wondering.
There's a number 3.
You gonna wait for the board or what?
I don't know what happened this game.
Hold on.
Remember how the dating game went last week? Yeah, we're gonna make up for that tonight.
Are we?
Oh,
wait,
look at
going
this! You
on
got
here?
these graphics and everything, and you're skipping over them.
By the
You're
way,
skipping over the graphics, Nick.
I didn't know. So if you're only listening to the audio feed, maybe on the radio here in Orlando or wherever, we do have some video going along with this at listen.wdwnt.com. The Fan-ly Feud board is right there.
Look at that! It's got our logo and everything.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
cool.
They couldn't change the M to an N. Come on, Jason.
Change what N to an M?
For Fan-ly Feud.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, he's just like, no, shut up and do your job.
Love it.
Oh, boy.
All right. Sorry,
Now,
guys.
Steven gets to answer because she missed it, right?
Yes.
So it gets thrown.
Yeah.
All right.
There's the X from an hour ago.
All right. So we had the X. So, Steven, your chance to take this board.
The Backlot Tour.
Show me Backlot Tour. There it is, the number 1 answer on the board for 45 points.
Oh, team 2.
Why are you playing the buzz?
I didn't buzz. I swear I didn't buzz.
Sure you didn't.
All right.
You guys going to pass or play?
We're going to play.
All right, let's play the feud.
All right. Excellent. All right. So, Nicole, name of the attraction that is no longer open at Hollywood Studios.
The American Idol experience?
See the Idol?
That's done.
There it is. Number 3 answer. 11 people said it.
Wow.
Why are you buzzing? Oh, man.
This game's just getting started. It's going downhill.
It's about how they all start.
That's pretty much what we do here. I don't know how
I should have
often you
retired
listen.
last week after the dating game.
Right?
That was your moment.
That
Nick.
First
was.
show with no
it.
problems.
All right,
Good
Nick,
show.
you're up next. Name an attraction that's no longer open at Hollywood Studios.
Lights, motors, action.
The Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show's on the board. Number 2 answer.
All right, you guys are rocking. Only one real strike so far. Steven.
Wow.
Steven, you're up next.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Playground.
See it. Nope. No love for Auntie tonight.
Oh man, I love that playground.
All right, Nicole, 2 strikes, 3 still on the board. 3 answers still on the board. Your turn.
Closed the is One Man's Dream closed?
Kind of. No, it's not. But
That I think that's only 2 strikes for them.
You sure?
Yeah, I know it shows 3, but that's
Oh.
Yeah,
because
he
I
hit
hit
the
the
wrong
face
button.
off.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
problem. No problem, then.
So I get one more.
You get one more. Go ahead, Nick.
Let's see. Here Come the Muppets.
Here comes
Whoa.
Here comes the Mupp. No,
Not on the board.
you're giving the audience a little too much credit there, Nick.
All right. Well, Rebecca, Chuck, and John, you guys get to steal. I have you all on. You guys can talk to each other, figure out which answer you'd like to go with to steal this.
I'm going to say sounds dangerous.
I don't remember that one. I'm blanking right now, so I'm not going to be much help.
Yeah, I don't know anything either.
So you guys want to go with Sounds Dangerous?
Or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, maybe, too.
Okay, let's go with that one.
What are we
Who
going
Wants
with?
to Be a Millionaire? Let's try that one.
Is
Who
that your
wants to
final
be-
answer?
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Play it!
You got
There it is!
All right. That one was all yours,
You're
guys.
supposed to play the music. Come on, man.
I don't have that. Calm
Who
down.
Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Calm down.
I was a sit-in for Meredith Vieira once.
Nice.
Yeah,
You
I was
look
her
just
lighting,
like her.
her lighting
I was just
double.
kidding.
We had the same hair color and same.
I actually got to participate in that. I got up to the $200 and then lost everything.
Oh wow!
I didn't make
Good
it that
job.
long.
It's farther than I got.
All right, let's see the other answers up there. Number 5, Superstar Television. And number 6, There Sounds Dangerous. That would have been a good one also.
Yeah. We got it either way, but very good. And so team two got that one. Yes, exactly. So
No, Team 1 got it.
that's what I thought. Yeah. Right. It's team 1.
Team 1, 87
Stole it.
points, right?
they stole
Thank you,
it.
Michelle. Yeah, so I was about to say it, then I figured Nick must be wrong.
Oh, boy.
Did they get
Calm
I don't know.
down.
I'm watching Nicole's video and it's just the roof and her nose.
Do they get the points for the one that they used to steal it or no?
They got points for all 4 that were up there.
All right. So 87.
Math game time.
Oy.
There we go.
All right, excellent. Let's bring up. See, I told you we'd need an hour for this one, Tom.
We sure do.
Hey, let's bring up Chuck and Nicole to face off now.
Mosquito. All right, your question for round 2 is name an animal you can see inside the seas with Nemo and friends.
Oh, Woody.
Nicole.
Woody. Crush, the turtle. The sea turtle.
Let's see, Crush the Turtle.
So, you know,
Once the
when
board
you go
loads.
through.
What?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
A
What?
mistake Nick didn't make. Yeah.
What? Why is Dolphin
Sorry.
there?
That's my bad.
Come
All
on.
right.
All right, well, Dolphin's already burnt off, but there's Turtle. So it's going to be top 5 answers after Dolphin we're playing.
So anyway, Nicole got the number 1 answer.
The number 2 answer, Turtle, is now the number 1.
Exactly.
So you guys want to pass or play?
Let's play.
Let's play what's left of the feud. Come on. Oh, boy. Nick, whose turn is it?
All right. So that was Nicole. So Nick's up now.
Nick, give us an animal you might find at the seas with Nemo and friends.
A manatee.
See the manatee. I'm really annoyed that's not number 1, by the way.
Aw.
It's there. It's fine. It's all good.
All right. Very good. You guys are rolling. Steven, you're up next.
Clownfish.
See a clownfish. Ain't no funny.
Excellent job so far. Back to Nicole.
Shark.
Let's see sharks.
You guys are getting this one. Only one answer left on the board.
Can we sweep the?
It's all up to Nick.
Sweep the board.
Geez.
Animal you might find at the seas
like,
with Nemo.
I'm gonna say like stingray or manta ray.
Stingray or manta ray. Nope.
Oh,
first strike.
That's what I was going to say too.
All right. Well, what do you got for us, Steven?
Let me see eel. Sorry, I didn't mean to giggle.
He stole my stingray, which apparently wasn't very good.
Let me see eel. Nope, it's a strike.
Nicole, one last chance for this one.
The jellyfish.
Oh,
let me see the jellyfish.
Yeah, excellent job, guys.
Oh, we've been great with
all right, Team 2 swept that one. They don't necessarily have to be there. People just said that they would be.
Well, they don't get the 28, but they get everything else that's up there.
All right, very good.
Let's move on to round 3.
All right, we're bringing on Nick and John. Oops.
Maybe. Did you just hang up on him?
I don't know if I did or not.
This is going swimmingly. Get it? Because it was the fish.
The fish one, yeah.
Swimming,
That's
just
cool.
keep swimming.
Find Nick and John.
Michelle, this might be a great time to tell everybody who brings us.
I like that
the
idea.
game
Oh, that's a great.
on the page after that.
All right. Well, this game is brought to you by Theme Park Connection. Theme Park Connection helps collectors bring the magic of Disney right into their home. They offer the best selection of traditional and hard-to-find Disney and other entertainment-based items and authentic used props. Whatever treasure you are looking for, you will likely find it in their extensive online store at themeparkconnection.com. Theme Park Connection is your connection to your dream collection.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're
Nick,
most welcome.
We have Nick and John on here for the face-off now.
All right.
All right. So the next question, Michelle.
Round 3. Where would you go on Walt Disney World property if you wanted to eat a steak?
For lunch or dinner?
Woody.
Nick.
You said a steak or a snake?
Steak.
The snake would be any waterway.
Grand Floridian Cafe.
That might be both. Let me see Grand Floridian Cafe.
Nicole didn't like that answer.
No.
There's the buzzer.
I'm just
All
gonna
right.
buzz that one.
All right.
All right. So back to Team 1. John, do you have an answer?
LoCicero.
LoCicero. Number 1 answer. It's a steak.
Answer. All right. So
I knew that.
What is that?
stop. Don't even.
Don't you dare stop hitting the button. All right.
All right, we're over to Team 1 now. You guys got control of the board. Rebecca, where would you go on Walt Disney World property if you wanted to eat a steak?
The boathouse.
See the boathouse. Number 4 answer on the board.
All right, Chuck. Oh, stop it.
I don't even want to know.
How about the flying fish?
Flying fish. They do have it's a really good steak. It's not what they're known for, though. It is a good steak, though.
All right, back to John.
The Yachtsman.
Yachtsman Steakhouse. Those ones with steak in the name keep coming up here.
I feel like John's had some good steak on property. Rebecca.
Guessing he hasn't been to STK.
This might be controversial, but STK.
There it is, STK. There it is, number 2. So people have heard of it.
All right, there's one answer left on the board.
It's got a great chimichurri sauce.
Yeah. Chuck.
Is there a Shula's Steakhouse?
Swan and Dolphin. Let's see Shula's. Oh, come on. Named for the greatest NFL coach of all time.
No,
the
Belichick
undefeated
at a restaurant there.
1972 Miami Dolphins.
All right, and now we're back to John. You have 2 strikes, 1 answer left on the board.
I'm gonna say California Grill.
Let's see if California Grill is up there. There it is with 7.
7?
Yeah, 7. You guys swept the board.
Look at that. Good job.
So Jason's going to do some.
It's my round of applause.
All right, so that was 4
Great
rounds. I think we have time to play one more.
We should get through this.
Squeeze it in.
That was round 3.
That was round 3.
Yes, round 4.
Oh man,
Time flies, Nick.
All right, we'll see how far we go.
Do you want 4 or do you want 5?
Let's go to 5. Let's go to that last one. Let's squeeze this one in. This will be our last round. So let's bring on.
Is this to decide the game?
This is.
So
all right. Let's do it.
We need the video to go to round 5. There you go.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. We can do this.
Yeah, he's got it.
All right. So
Stephen and Rebecca are at the face-off.
Round 5. What item might a guest purchase at the Disney tag shop?
Buzz.
All right. I heard Rebecca first.
Luggage.
Let's see if luggage is on the board. Hold on. Let the graphic go. Luggage.
Awesome graphic.
This is the peak of the
number 1 answer.
It's up there. It's the number 1 answer. Do you guys want to pass or play?
We'll play.
Just ignore all the noise. And please ignore the P on the board.
That's fabulous.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Come on.
Chuck. No.
Did we lose Chuck?
No. Chuck,
I'm here.
You're there.
Chuck, we have luggage up there. What else might you find at the tag shop?
Cell phone case.
A cell phone case. The tag shop, known, of course, for travel accessories. It is next door. You can get a phone case, though, I guess. All right. Nick, who's up?
Nick's dialing someone at the
Oh,
moment.
Nick, we lost somebody again. 1 strike
We
on
lost
the
our
board.
call to Canada. Yeah.
Oh, no. Blame Canada.
Got a minute and a half.
Blame Canada.
Oh, we'll do this. Rebecca, hold on.
Remember, you two could be a part of a WDWNT game show. They all go about this well.
No, last week's game was good.
Yeah, it was like the one time.
John?
Luggage tags.
Will you find a luggage tag? You will. It's number 2. 1 more to sweep.
All right, Rebecca.
What else will you find at that tag shop?
Like a pillow, a neck pillow.
Will you find a neck pillow for the game?
Got
Travel pillow. There it is.
Well done, Team 1.
Wow. We did it, Tom.
We did. Team 1, you have won the first disastrous video edition of the Fan-ly Feud.
Hey, we have to try everything once. Come on.
We will. Then we'll do this again. We'll figure it out. But Team 1, congratulations. But just for playing, for being our guinea pigs, everybody's getting something.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to mail you all something courtesy of WDWNT and Theme Park Connection. Thank you guys for playing the feud. Nick, we got a huge hour 2 coming up.
Team 1, 283. Team 2, 70.
7.
See. Yeah, big second hour.
Anyway, hour 2 coming up tonight.
Celebrating 50 years as Apopka's hometown station. 1520 WBZW. Apopka, Orlando. Community events, financial news, weather, traffic, and more.
A service of Salem Media Group.
Your news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Val Dior. The Trump administration has repealed an Obama-era directive that ordered public schools to let transgender students use bathrooms that match their chosen gender identity, an issue President Trump says should not involve the federal government.
The president's made it clear throughout the campaign that he's a firm believer in states' rights and that certain issues like this are not best dealt with at the federal level.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, transgender rights advocates say it was necessary to protect students from discrimination. Opponents argue it was an example of federal overreach. Vice President Mike Pence visited a suburban St. Louis Jewish cemetery where 154 headstones were damaged earlier in the week. He says the community reaction to the vandalism is heartening.
The people of Missouri are inspiring the nation by your love and care for this place for the Jewish community in Missouri, and I want to thank you for that inspiration, for showing the world what America is really all about.
The vice president condemning the incident as a vile act of vandalism. The former chief of one of Britain's counterterrorism programs say they obviously failed to keep track of a former Guantanamo Bay detainee who attacked a military base in Iraq this week. His ID confirmed as a 50-year-old Briton, formerly known as Ron Fiddler, and as Jamal al-Harith, one of 16 men paid millions in compensation when the British government settled a lawsuit alleging its intelligence agencies were complicit in the torture of prisoners at Guantanamo Bay. Home sales hit their fastest pace in 10 years. The National Association of Realtors says sales of existing homes rose 3.3% last month from December. The typical house for sale is remaining on the market for 50 days compared with 64 days a year ago. And Doug Coe, whose ministry coordinated the annual National Prayer Breakfast in Washington, has passed away at the age of 88 after a brief hospitalization following a heart attack and stroke. More on these stories can be found at townhall.com. I'm Val Dior.
This is Eric Metaxas. Over the last year, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs, and many of you have begun completing your education through Liberty. For those of you who have not taken the step, a new year always offers new opportunities, so why not make 2017 the year you finally decide to finish your degree? Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. So maybe you've procrastinated. You may have even convinced yourself that you just don't have the time. Well, the only thing standing in the way of completing your college education now is you. So whatever your excuses or reasons, 2017 can be the year you make it happen, but you need to start now. So pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250 and say the keywords Liberty University. That's pound 250 and say the keywords Liberty University. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University online. Dial pound 250 and say the keywords Liberty University.
Welcome to 2 hours of Tom's worst nightmare. Welcome back to the WDW News Tonight, where nothing works and the points don't matter. That's
Look,
right.
I think we did a fine job.
We'll see how next week goes, right? Coming up next week on the show. See, I lost my place now. Next week on the show.
Had fun.
Oh, next week's going to be an even bigger disaster. Next week, we are going to be reviewing the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, which starts next Wednesday. So we got to race back here from Epcot and do a show. That's going to be something.
Why don't we take the show on the road and do a remote cast?
Did you see how we just did a game show? You want us to do a remote broadcast?
Also next week, as is tradition, WDWNT, The Price is Right, Flower and Garden Edition.
Come on down.
As is tradition. All that and much more next week on WDW News Tonight. Also, we're going to disclose this year's edition of March Madness. We're going to talk more about that next week. That's going to be starting up not next week, but the week after.
People are voting all wrong.
We're going to have
They're
March
voting for
Madness.
the boring one.
And also, we're bringing back March Tragic. You may remember March Tragic last year. That's when we ended up with our T-shirts. We ended up with
I like those shirts.
The Hollywood Studios hard hats, and we ended up with the Tom Corless mean tweets. That was our winner, and then we let you guys pick one you wanted us to still make. This year, we're going to do another March Tragic tournament and make some T-shirts.
Is that poll still up on Twitter so people can vote for what they want us to do the tournament
I don't think it's over yet. They can. There's 4 options up for what we might do. It seems like Walt Disney World Restaurants is going to win, but the other possibilities for the tournament are individual food items at Walt Disney World, cast member costume.
That's the one I like.
Yeah, I know, because then we could have the cast members like call in and yell and stuff. It'd be really fun. And what was I don't remember the other one.
I don't either.
Oh, parades and shows.
Oh yeah,
parades and shows.
That was a good one too.
Those are the 4 things it could be. By next week, we'll have all that information for you. But there you go. Michelle, please tell them who brings us WDW News Tonight each and every week.
Well, Tom, WDW News Tonight is brought to you by Magical Travel. Magical Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner and is always ready to assist you in making your next trip to the Walt Disney World Resort, Disneyland Resort, or aboard the Disney Cruise Line even more magical. Right now, if you book by February 26th for stays most nights, February 20th through June 10th of 2017, you can save up to 25% on a Disney resort stay. Plus, get one more day added to your ticket get when you upgrade to a Magic Your Way room and ticket package with a minimum 4-day ticket. For more information on this special offer and many more, visit magicaltravel.com and book your next Disney trip today.
Guys, you know what I think it's time for?
No, Tom. What is it time for?
The worst. Let's take a trip to the wonderful world of psychotic comments. Michelle, take it away.
So some of these threw me for a little loop here this week. So, all right. So the story was new bird shows have debuted at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Ryan B says, those poor birds. Where is their blackfish?
Mm-hmm.
Too soon. Barramon says, the Lannisters got him. Really? They're birds, not performers. Give me a break. Sarah Jacobson says, oh, come on. If they weren't performing, they'd be on my plate. I don't know anyone that eats
I thought
parrots
they'd
and
wind up
cockatiels.
on the lady's hat.
That would make more sense, especially if the Lannisters got him.
What is the Lannisters? I didn't get that.
It's Game of
Game
Thrones.
of Thrones.
I don't watch
A Lannister always spays his pets.
that. So does Bob Barker.
Well, I have a shirt that says it, so it's funnier when I say it.
If you have to explain it, Michelle, it's not funny. Steak for lunch.
Okay. Coronado Springs Resort to be remodeled into Business Deluxe Resort. Vampire-friendly hotel says, I'm sure they didn't close everything. This is the part that I started texting Nick. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I'm sure they didn't close everything. If you're paying Business Deluxe pricing, they would never expect your delicate skin to come in contact with that horrible Florida sun. Rest assured, you can spend your entire business trip without ever setting foot outdoors. For an extra charge, cast members will even cover or remove anything within your vicinity that relates to sunshine or happiness to ensure that your stay is as drab as your personality.
Love it.
Coronado Springs is a really boring resort.
Oh,
It's got beautiful fountains.
I had a wonderful lunch there today.
It's gorgeous.
Did you eat steak?
No, I went to Las Ventanas and had a hamburger.
Well, that's a type of steak. Joffrey's Coffee Magic Kingdom kiosk gets a name and exclusive beverage. Larry says, I love coffee. Kiosks of selling stuff to guests. I understand.
She's really hyped up on her caffeine. She's trying to be Larry.
Let's go with caffeine.
Okay. All right. So
Be the
Larry says,
Larry.
I love coffee. Kiosks for selling stuff to guests. I understand. That's the only goal of WDW to sell, but they are losing some needed space. It's like putting taco stands in one large lane of I-4. What?
It's good enough.
I don't understand.
Better than what's currently in
Why
one
is
lane.
it I love coffee, period, kiosks for selling stuff?
I don't know. It's just people writing on the internet.
Larry!
Kiosks for selling stuff to guests, I understand. That's the only goal of WDW.
To sell. But they are losing some needed space. It's like putting
The
taco
punctuation.
stands in one lane of I-4.
Dissect Larry's comment.
Let's move
Let's do a
on.
whole
There's
round
more.
table.
You have to explain it, Nick.
Come on, there's more.
Anonymous says, I wish they'd put taco stands on I-4. It would make the waiting in traffic more bearable. I agree, Anonymous.
Maybe that's what all this work is.
New BLT stand at Animal Kingdom. Melanie B says, I thought the cheese sandwich might be for vegetarians, but nope. That has bacon too. It would be nice if there was a substitute you could order. And hashtag entitlement strong says, oh, you poor entitled thing. Imagine the horror that they only have bacon at a stand that serves bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. We're so kind to one another.
There's plenty of that. They could walk 2 feet to Flame Tree Barbecue. There's a beautiful fruit salad.
There is a very nice fruit salad there.
You put barbecue sauce on that?
I put that on everything. I
I
almost
just take
cursed
the
on the air.
bacon
That
off
would've
of
been
the
bad.
cheese sandwich. Just order it without bacon.
You probably
Get
could
extra
just order it
tomatoes.
without bacon.
New attraction footage released for Navi River Journey ride in Pandora, the world of Avatar. Science, yay, says. With James Cameron being involved, I'm sure the pre-show is neurological surgery. I have to say this again. I'm sure the pre-show is neurological surgery that implants a chip in your brain that automatically converts all images to 3D in your brain. Science, yay!
Yeah.
Nick L. says, yeah, I hope we get a better, and by better, longer official vid soon. Insert I'm Blue song.
That's not how they talk.
That how Fan-ly Feud go.
Me know that way talk, right? Good, well.
Randy Dragon says, February 19th.
No, don't worry.
Why? What's that one?
Love your work, Tom. Planning our third trip to WDW next year. Your dedication and commitment makes my job easier. Thank you, sir. And keep the great work. Keep the. That's what's that.
They were being
You
nice
are
to me. Why are
appreciated.
we picking on the one person that's ever been nice to me?
I'm reading it as it's written.
Who put it there, Nick?
Randy Dragon.
Dragon.
Drogo.
All right, let's keep going. Come on.
Hashtag WDW Music Strong says.
Magic Strong.
Oh, sorry. Magic Strong. Heard the music. Got confused.
WDW
Thanks for
Magic
the
Strong.
input, Tom. Posting from another name. Totally Not Tom says, always like reading the news here. It's the best website around. Psalm Sorless of Corless 2020 says, make Washington more magical as long as people from other sites think of it first. And not Tom Corless says, great breaking news story as always. I only go to WDWNT for my breaking news and all things Disney. While I am here, I often visit the WDWNT store to get my limited release shirt. I also make sure to tune in to WDW News Tonight Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest Disney news. Amazing article, Tom. Rated 7.
7
out of 7.
7.
Also, not Tom Corless. 7.
7.
As in more than 7.
7.
Shirts available on their fantastic sponsor, TeePublic. Or is it the 7 different shirts of the same style that I get so I can show my WDWNT spirit every day of the week? I'm so excited for my trip that's in 7 months.
7.
Which I, of course, booked through Magical Travel. Anyway, I have to go get back to my second job so I can continue saving up so I can join the world's fairest level of Patreon.
Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to talk about getting around Walt Disney World finally, because we need to do that. So we'll be right back.
Medicare rules are confusing. They should be. There are over 130,000 pages of regulations. There's Part A through D, Medicare Advantage, and Medigap. According to the CMS, there are government programs available that can help you pay for your medical expenses. Choosing the right Medicare plan is a really big deal. The wrong choice can cost you a lot of money, and the right choice can put more money in your pocket. Call one of our licensed representatives today. At 65 Plus Medicare, our free service can show you a plan that will maximize your Medicare benefits, ensure you are taking advantage of all available government assistance programs, and save you money. Plus, call right now and get a free report on how to avoid costly Medicare mistakes. Call now.
800-884-9325. 800-884-9325. 800-884-9325. That's 800-884-9325.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
Great minds throughout human history have praised simplicity, Leonardo da Vinci and Albert Einstein among them. Most of us would have learned the simplicity lesson in school in some form of the KISS method, or keep it simple. The purpose, don't overcomplicate things. It only confuses people. This is Ron Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory, and we strive to make purchasing a mattress as simple as possible. We build mattresses and box springs in our own local factory and sell them direct to you at everyday low prices that are clearly marked. No middleman markups, no changing product names to confuse you, and definitely no phony sales or so-called freebies that deceive you into thinking you are getting a deal. Those ads touting a free box spring with the purchase of a mattress or free 5-year financing may appeal to the senses, but don't benefit you, the consumer. So if you are shopping for a mattress, remember to keep it simple and save. Check out an original mattress store near you and experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original.
I'm not going to interrupt the surprise in the sky. I'm sorry. Love that. You're listening to WDW News Tonight, radio's only show about Disney theme parks. We're live on 105.5 FM, 660 AM, and AM 1520 in Orlando. Also at listen.wdwnt.com, and WDWNT, the app, and on YouTube. Thank you for joining us once again this week. Coming off another record-setting listenership week last week. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate your support here at WDW News Tonight.
Breaking
Very
records.
much appreciated. Also, thank you to everybody who bought the limited release Figment and Dreamfinder t-shirts. We were blown away. We can't believe how many of those were sold. And
I hope they make a comeback because I didn't get mine in time.
I don't know.
No,
They're not
I
supposed to,
tonight
though. They're
and it was
limited
gone.
release. Like, that should be it at this point. Seriously, though, we appreciate the continued support, and we're, especially since the company is actively working towards paying more of our employees. So there's a lot of people here who have worked for a very long time for the company and have made $0 and done it on a voluntary basis all these years. And it's going to be a really nice way to.
He's going to pay us all
give back.
$7 a month.
7?
Yeah, 7.
All joking
Hey,
aside, though, seriously, thank you. There's a lot of people that put in a lot of hard work every week to make all of this happen. Whether you read the site, listen to the podcast, watch this every week. And we want to reward those people. We want to be able to give people something for their time.
And by the way, we ended the Fan-ly Feud really quick that first hour. I just really want to thank Stephen, Nicole, Nick, Rebecca, Chuck, and John for all taking part in the first full version of Fan-ly Feud we've played. We've done it before where we just like had one person, one round, kind of like playing a little bit, but this was good. So thank you guys for signing up for that, and we appreciate you listening and playing tonight.
We didn't get to plug the wigs, so I want to talk about it real quick. WDWNT Interglobe Society, which is the Patreon thing that person teased us about earlier, is another great way that people are supporting WDWNT, and we do some special stuff for them. Tonight, we're going to do one of those special things. Right after the show goes off the air at 11, we're going to be on for a half hour, taking questions and just talking with our Interglobe Society members. You can join at patreon.com/WDWNT, or you can just click the Patreon link at WDWNT.com. These shows are a great way to interact. Also, one day between now and Sunday, we're going to do one of those park walks, which are another
Can I come?
One of the incentives of joining. We're going to do sort of an hour-long sort of walking tour where we'll go somewhere at Walt Disney World, and I'll point stuff out, and we'll go do things, and it'll be exclusive just for Patreon.
So do I have to pay to go to this?
You can show up and be on the video.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll have a nice steak lunch.
Yeah. No, we won't. It's closed now.
What's closed now?
They don't do lunch anymore.
They do on weekends.
There's plenty of places for steak
I don't think people
lunches.
want to watch us eat at STK for an hour. I don't want to eat at STK.
That'd be amazing.
One fry.
Tell you what, if we might have to do a thing where if we reach a certain goal on Patreon, we'll go to STK and you guys we can live stream it.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what,
See me
yeah.
and Nick dancing and you going.
If we get the Patreon subscribership over the $500 goal that's been there for a little while, we will live stream to all levels of Patreon, $2 and up. We will live stream me eating at STK as much as I hate it.
Michelle and I dancing in the background,
While the
requesting
manager
I'm
comes over
blue
and
from the
rates
DJ.
I can't believe I'm.
This would be fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
It's a great way to support WDWNT and get exclusive content. We're also constantly uploading old podcast episodes and things like that. So, anyway, I want to get to this discussion because for 3 weeks we've been trying to do this, and we've had no luck finishing it. So welcome back, Jason Diffendahl coming back, David Smith coming back. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Hey there.
Yay.
And of course, Nick and Michelle are here also.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go back through some of the stuff we already talked about, and we'll make sure we cover all this. The discussion, of course, this in-depth discussion brought to you by WDWNT, the app, is monorails, trains, and automobiles getting around Walt Disney World. I want to start with parking. That's what most of us do. Most of us rent cars or live locally, so we end up taking the car there. Where is parking good? Where is it bad? What are some of the tips and tricks to parking? Usually for Hollywood Studios, I'd give the side entrance one, but that's
gone now.
It's gone. So I don't even know if I want to go back to Hollywood Studios now that
nope, probably
that
not.
makes it so much more difficult to go there. But where is parking good? Where is it bad? What do we think about parking at Walt Disney World?
It's pretty much bad everywhere.
I don't agree with that. I think Epcot's wonderful.
Yeah, Epcot's good.
Epcot's
I walk from wherever in the Epcot parking lot. It doesn't matter.
I remember like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago when we were talking about this, and I was saying about how Epcot starts parking on the other side of the tree line, so you have to walk further. I was at Epcot Saturday, and we got a good parking spot right up front. So I'm back happy with Epcot's parking situation now.
I mean, so much of parking is just timing. You know, when you arrive, when they're filling up certain sections of the lot. It's hard to say that there's a specific tip to get a better parking spot that's ethical. So it's a crapshoot. With most parking. I mean, Epcot's good, Magic Kingdom's okay. I don't particularly like Animal Kingdom's parking situation.
I'll tell you where parking is bad. Universal Studios.
Oh my God! I was there over the weekend. $20.
I was there Thursday and Friday.
I was there for a film fest.
It was fantastic because, like how Disney has like 17 parking attendants that tell you where to go. Well, Universal has like 3. And so essentially we're following the line and everybody's following the line. And then like one guy, like 3 cars behind us, decides he's just going to go down the next aisle and park wherever he wants. And there's no attendants there to tell him not to. So he turns, and then like 3 other people follow him, and then you see all these attendants running after those cars that tell them they're not doing it right. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But anyway, that's kind of off topic, and no wonder we don't ever get this segment done.
You know what parking lot is really terrible, and we didn't realize it until like the last 2 weeks? Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom, yep.
It's nearly impossible to get out of that parking lot, and everybody.
Yeah. That is the problem. There's a blind spot.
No one ever left Animal Kingdom in droves before. Everybody sort of left whenever.
Yeah.
So you never left with a giant crowd, but now there's these nighttime shows dumping. So the whole crowd's going out at once. And the way this lot is built, it's kind of this big circle road around the lot. These exit lanes, you can't get out because there's just a constant stream of cars.
It's like 2 lanes out of the whole parking lot, right?
And it's
everybody has to merge into it, right?
And there's a bad
can't
angle.
fix it.
You can't see what's coming either.
that's a
very
very
well.
bad angle.
There's some lanes that are, and there's at least half of them are angled so poorly that you're not going to get out for a while. Like I've sat there, there was one night where I sat there for 8 or 9 minutes because you just couldn't get out. It's a mess.
You should walk slowly from the Rivers of Light show to your car.
Yeah, right. Pandora is only going to make it worse. This is it's going to be fun to watch this summer. Hollywood Studios is okay. Now having to walk down to regular security is a pain, but I guess that'll make you want to take the tram now. And Magic Kingdom, of course, is just the worst ever. I love Walt Disney. Appreciate the man very much. I unfortunately do not appreciate that the parking lot is so far from the park and the monorail system is no longer efficient. And so it's not always easy to get from the parking lot to the park anymore.
Would garages help at any of these parks?
Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, Studios, I think.
Animal Kingdom, it doesn't need it. It's the way it's laid out is the problem. Studios, I think, actively needs a garage. But they're not doing it. So I mean, they're getting a gondola, I guess.
Yeah,
So
gondola would help tremendously.
Gondola's going to help. Gondola to the rescue.
That's right.
How can we solve this problem? Gondola.
That's the answer to all of life's problems.
It might be.
Steak for lunch.
And gondolas.
That's a premium package right there.
Oh,
lunch steak on the gondolas.
I like it. I like it.
Steak gondola. Yeah.
As long as there's a wine flight for your flight.
I haven't looked in a while. Do they still offer AAA diamond parking?
No.
Still, that's gone.
It's gone. Because no one knew what it was.
Right.
I have AAA.
You'd show it to people and they'd be like, what? I guess you can go up there.
That was the best, though.
Yeah, it worked well.
They do have preferred parking now for $40.
$40.
People
It was
still
great.
pay for it.
I was driving into Epcot, and literally the preferred parking was 3 rows in front of where I parked.
Yeah.
So these people are getting out of their car, and I'm like, you just wasted $20 to save 20 steps.
$20 and they pay 40.
Well, they paid 40, and regular they would have paid 20 otherwise.
Yeah. Well, annual pass, I think you end up paying 20. It's still a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's talk about the trams. Does anyone actually take the parking trams?
Not if I can help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I try not to.
Especially when the kids were in a stroller, there was no way it was worth it. No matter what distance it was, trying to fold up the stroller, get in the tram, just walk. I mean,
well, not even walk. The kids are in the stroller. I mean, with the kids in the stroller, I understand you.
And I mean, you really get yelled at. I remember one time, if you sit the 2 rows that face each other, if you sit in the 2 rows that face each other, that's actually big enough to fit a stroller between those rows without folding it. And but you know how when they load the tram and then they turn a corner, the guy in the back of the tram is always looking to make sure the strollers are folded. And they stop the tram and yell at you if you have a stroller there that's not folded, even if there's not a kid in it.
Yes, yeah.
It's like the cardinal sin of trams is to have the strollers.
I mean, the only time I'll take the tram is if it happens to be right there when we're walking by. And that's the only scenario that I've seen where it makes any type of sense.
Yeah, but even then, you still end up having to wait 3, 4, 5 minutes. I mean, unless you're the person that is barely over the yellow line when they say no more boarding.
That's true. You're still sitting there.
Even if the tram is sitting there, it still could sit there for a couple minutes before it pulls away. So
the only scenario that I've done the tram in recent years is if I've been on my phone, if I want to if I'm in the middle of a text or a game or something like that, and I want to just sit and chill and continue doing that and not walk into anybody. I'll sit on the tram and take my time, especially if I'm not in a rush, to get into the park. Right. I'll sit in the tram, play on my phone.
I've taken it twice recently at Animal Kingdom and at Epcot.
Yeah, I'll do it in Animal Kingdom sometimes if I'm on the very far lot, like the opposite side of the road. I'll do it then. I'll never at Studios or Epcot, never ever. Every once in a while at Magic.
Someone in the chat asked, Tom, did you usually park at the resorts and then take Disney transportation? I try not to. That's usually not a thing. I will, if tomorrow I want to go to Epcot and Studios, I will probably park at the boardwalk.
The overflow is blocked now.
I know.
The gate comes down in between.
Does.
So see, here's the other thing is I have tables in Wonderland. So another thing I'll usually do is I'll valet and we'll go do the parks, and then we'll stop at the lounge or something and use tables in Wonderland. We'll buy a drink or something.
That gets you free valet?
Yeah, because it's tables in Wonderland, yeah. So that's a nice thing about it. You can't really do Yacht and Beach currently because of the construction. They're not, unless you actually have a reservation.
You have to have a reservation even if you want to go to beach.
Even valet, they're being kind of...
It's ridiculous. It's a ice cream shop. Why do I need a reservation?
But otherwise, I'll park at the Contemporary a fair amount and walk to Magic Kingdom if they'll let me.
Yeah.
Polynesian's then the backup, and you have to take the monorail from there. Otherwise, I park at the park. There's very few resorts where it makes sense
now
to take the transportation from there. It doesn't make life easier.
Since they're being a little, tougher on parking at some of the resorts without a reservation, how do you... how do you go visit that resort? Like, if you just want to visit a resort, how do you recommend guests get there? Like, if they want to go to Boardwalk, they don't have a reservation. They just want to kind of like walk around and check it out.
Boardwalk will be real easy because Boardwalk has a lot of businesses that are walk-up businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tell them we're going to Ample Hills or we're going to go to Abracadabra or anything like that, Boardwalk is usually very, very good about letting you in.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that will not or Contemporary will always give you a problem. The Polynesian and Grand Flow can be Grand Flow usually a little worse than Poly. But other than that, Yacht and Beach only right now because of the construction. Usually that's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But any other ones you should be absolutely fine. Like Caribbean Beach, any moderate or any value is never going to turn you away.
Yeah.
The biggest issue is if you're getting there, like if you're trying to go to the boardwalk at 8:30 in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm just going to shop on the boardwalk," they're going to turn you away because they know you're going to park at Epcot to go to Epcot. The boardwalk shops don't even open until like 10 or 11 o'clock.
You can tell them you're going to that new breakfast.
And the other time that they'll give you a hard time is if you get there at around 8:30 p.m. Because they might think you're going to see Illuminations or Wishes.
Well, no, but see, that's the time when people would be going to Abracadabra.
It would be, yeah, it would be.
Ample Hills or anything like that, yeah.
Right. So it depends, but yeah, certainly the mornings are the worst. You really can't.
Yeah.
You really can't go and say I'm going to Abracadabra at 8:30 in the morning. That's not going to work.
And it's really funny. Ever since they started closing that lot across the street with the bar coming down, the line to get into Grand Floridian, the boardwalk, is like huge. It's like, sometimes it does back up that far, but every time I've driven down that way now, that's backed up into the median across street. People waiting to turn and can't turn. And that's been consistently backed up ever since they decided to keep that lot closed now.
To be honest, somebody wrote in about parking garages. Somebody said about parking garages. I think the boardwalk and the Grand Floridian is where they need parking garages.
Yeah, there are some resorts, yeah.
Resorts would definitely benefit from parking
garages.
Grand
Floridian just was such, they messed up that up so bad. Having to build that remote lot across the street was so dumb.
Well, and then it locks and you have to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Where do you want? I'm like, I want to get out of the parking lot, please.
Yeah, there, Grand Flow, I'd build a garage. Yeah.
Boardwalk is the same with the lot across the street.
That being said, the last like 10 or 15 times I parked at Boardwalk, they let me park like on the normal lot.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So it hasn't been that bad.
No, but I'm saying, even if you're a guest there and you've got to park in that lot across the street, it's still a pain.
Well, yeah. If you're staying there, you really should be able to park closer. But anyway.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about resorts over there by the water, let's talk about Watercraft a little bit. I want to talk about the boats, the ferry boats, the resort launches, the Sassagulas, the friendships, all of those. Let's talk about boats. Yeah, in most cases, I don't like these. I love looking at them. They provide a great kinetic energy everywhere they are, but there's a lot of these. I love riding on the Sassagula is always fun. That's such a beautiful, it's not efficient, but it's beautiful.
It's slow, but it's nice.
It's nice and relaxing. The friendship boats are useless. I do like the resort launches when the monorail is down at the line. Sure enough, I'll obviously go to Grand Floridian and Polynesian. The little launch boat is fun. And the ferry boat, I never used to take the ferry boat because as a kid I was like, I want to ride the monorail. But now with the monorail down so often, you end up on the ferry boat. The ferry boat's fairly efficient.
I'm fairly
surprised how well that actually works. It's pretty good.
I think I think the Sassagula is, if you're trying to get from Saratoga Springs or Old Key West to Disney Springs, the Sassagula is great because it's really, other than taking a bus, it's probably a little slower than a bus, but it certainly is a nice ride. Yeah. The friendships between Epcot and the Epcot resorts and the studios is the slowest form of transportation known to man to get between those resorts. The problem is that there aren't buses, so you have to take the friendship or else walk. There's not a bus from Beach Club to Studios. So that's kind of a problem, but yeah, if there's a gondola, then I'd be much happier.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do quite a bit of hopping between studios and Epcot, and the friendship boats were about the only real way you could do it with kids, at least, because it's a bit of a hike.
It is. Yeah.
So I mean, you're not necessarily going to do that all the time, and depending on what the weather's like, that's going to determine whether you can take those. I mean, if you're going from Epcot to Beach Club or yacht or anything, I prefer the walk personally, as long as the heat is somewhat reasonable.
It's a nice walk.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Except for that once you hit that bridge.
I will say
the I-4 section. Yeah.
Right. I will say that I've been on the resort launches, the little boats, more than once in the mid to late afternoon, and a storm has come up suddenly, and those boats are fun when there's a big thunderstorm and they're out in the middle of Seven Seas Lagoon.
There's also some fairly psychotic boat captains. There's the singing guy.
Oh yeah.
There's the guy who does the captain's log. I don't know if anyone's ever seen him.
Yeah.
Have you seen him? He's my favorite. He's insane. Nope, he's not watching. There's like, and the friendships. I don't know if he's still there. The bird guy. Did anyone remember the bird guy? There's a guy who sticks his fingers out the window and the birds land in his hands.
Stop it.
It's a real thing.
That's crazy.
Does he put something on his fingers?
I think he has like bird seed, but they land on his hands.
That's great.
I don't know if he's still there. I haven't seen him
Better
in
than
ages.
the show at the Animal Kingdom.
Where's the blackfish on this guy, right?
Exactly.
That's boats. Let's talk about everybody's favorite buses.
Buses.
Are they good or are they bad?
No
Bad.
bueno.
The only buses I ever take are the every once in a while. If I go into Fort Wilderness from the parking lot side,
Those
I'll
are bad.
Take the bus. Yeah,
I hate that.
I hate those.
But you
I
don't really have
also
a
don't-
choice is the problem.
No.
Like, if I was a first-time guest, I know I pick on first-timers and people that don't seem to know what they're doing. I would completely understand if people get lost on the bus the first time to Fort Wilderness.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's just all these crazy, stupid names.
It's insane.
You don't know where you're going. It's like, here's Fox Bend, and now we're at Alligator's Foot, and here's Uncle Ben's Rice. Like, what? What is this access to? I just want to go to Trail's End.
I've definitely taken the wrong bus. I've ended up in
Settlement
the
Yellow? What does that
shady
mean?
part of town.
Yeah.
That doesn't tell me where you're going.
The lady trying to give
The
me
sign
candy.
doesn't even say what Settlement Yellow means.
When you're planning to eat at Fort Wilderness, your best bet is to plan to go to the Magic Kingdom that day and then just ride the boat.
Oh, definitely.
It drops you off
The
right where
dock's
you
right
need to
there.
be. It's perfect, and then you can take the boat back when you're done.
Yeah, but I hate those. And those names are so stupid. I hate them. Nothing has numbers.
Yeah.
Everything's just these weird, stupid names. Anyway, so buses in general, like I had a fair amount of positive experience with buses. I haven't had a ton of the end of the world type experiences. Although I understand at park close, it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, my problem with buses is that it's actually not from the parks back to the hotel that my issue is. It's from the hotel to the parks, and especially if you're staying at Old Key West or Saratoga Springs, Caribbean Beach, anywhere where there's like multiple stops, you see the buses coming and going, and you're not sure if you just missed it or it's going to stop at your stop. You're not sure which bus it was. You're like, I've run to chase buses. I hate that.
There's
And
8 handicap people in ECVs that are going to take up 90% of the bus and take an hour to load.
And yeah, they take a long time to load. So I hate missing a bus, and I hate running after a bus. So I for that reason alone, I do not like taking buses from the resorts to the parks, and I usually will drive.
You ever really want to hate buses? You should take the B line in Westchester, New York, because it is the worst bus service to ever exist. I hate the B line so much. No one's gonna get that.
But I mean that, that being said, the buses are generally pretty efficient, and I don't have horror stories. I've never had problems, even taking buses back from the parks at close. They load pretty efficiently. The drivers are nice. There's no horror stories. It's just I don't like having to not know what the schedule is and run after a bus to try.
Someone
to
in the
make it.
chat said a midnight resort bound post wishes bus full of light up gadgets and screaming tired children, and being completely full is my personal nightmare. Chi-Town Court.
What about the sorcerer's bus? How about that?
Oh, the sorcerer class.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a thing yet.
Well, I mean, do you think that's going to improve anything?
It's not coming. They said it was just a test.
Oh, seriously?
And
they
it's
said
not-
it was just a test.
Oh.
And it's not going to improve the screaming children at 11.
No, they're just going to scream more because the bus is lighting up, saying
different colors.
That would be worse. Like it's post wishes. Everyone's loaded wall to wall in this bus, and the bus is talking to us.
Yeah,
like telling us to go see a movie. Shut up and get me home.
Yes,
you stupid
thank you.
bus. Happy birthday! Shut up. It would be a happy birthday if this kid wasn't peeing on my leg. Anyway.
I mean, the only thing I'll say in the bus is what they could do to improve them is just provide some better sense of when we could expect the bus to come.
Yeah.
And how much
The
time in between.
should be up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Resorts
So, I mean,
have it already.
Yeah. So I mean that's been great. The times where I've seen what time it's coming and I know what to expect, it's fine. I mean, the frustrating thing is you're at a stop and you have 4 Animal Kingdom buses go by and you're trying to get to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, those
are
that
the
is
scenarios where-
absolutely
Yeah.
maddening.
Which I understand logistically, but emotionally you hate to have to sit there the whole
And
time.
it's always the one you don't want.
Of
It's always
course.
like 8 of them in a row.
Yeah, downtown Disney at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Tom, I'm pretty sure you recommend the express buses, right?
I mean, the
paid
price
service.
increase hurts a little bit.
Does
but
it?
Yeah.
See, because my friend Zoe from California, who was out here and doing the parks for the first time in I think 3 years, it had been since she had been at Walt Disney World, and she noticed the kind of decline in the efficiency of the other transportation. And she said that next time she's definitely going to be purchasing the express bus. Like she feels that that's going to really
I like
improve.
it. It doesn't work every day because you always have to end where you left your car, and you always got to be there.
Well, she wouldn't have a car,
Right. Oh.
so she'd.
But you still gotta figure out the transportation back to your resort.
Right, but whatever, it doesn't matter what
Whatever park you're
in.
in, you can still get back to your resort.
You can, but that doesn't save you that fight. Like that's when the bus service is at its worst. The bus is not at its worst at 2 p.m.
When you're trying to go from
trying
park
to
to
switch
park.
parks. The bus is a nightmare at 11 o'clock when the Magic Kingdom has closed.
Yeah, but
that's when all hell has broken loose.
I think then that's when you Uber. They actually just Ubered
but the
everywhere.
Problem is, like,
They
Magic
stopped.
Kingdom, you can't Uber from the front.
Right.
You'd have to walk to the Contemporary or get to the Transportation and Ticket Center.
The express bus service is most valuable when you're in the Magic Kingdom and want to go to another park. Because especially Epcot, because you have to take 2 monorails to get to Epcot from the Magic Kingdom. But even so, $29 for a whole week is still not bad.
If they want to tack on $10 more or even 15 to then include a shuttle van at the end that will take me home to the hotel I'm staying at.
Wow.
From those
I will
back
pay
entrances,
for it.
not
Yes.
the front of the park.
Yes.
Yeah, that may be the key to making that express bus service.
If they want to tack on $15 to $20 more to take me, the van picks me up at the hotel and then drops me off later, and then the buses do the rest in the middle of the day, that would be wonderful.
Maybe a cheese plate.
Even if you have to coordinate it, if you have to tell them, like, if they tell you the van's going to depart from Hollywood Studios at 9 o'clock and that's the park I have to end at, that's fine. But just, I don't want to go back out into society. I have no desire to go do buses like a human being again. But the express bus regardless is great. Like, I think when my parents come later this year, I think I'm just going to get it for the week. It just seems.
Yeah, if you're there for a week and it's $29, that's a pretty decent.
Even if you just use it a couple times, it's going to be worth it.
Yep.
It's going to be the same as if you Ubered, but faster, and you don't have to go back for security, which is everything. So, all right. Now, the one thing we have absolutely had not gotten to because of time has been everything else. I want to talk about taxis. I want to talk about Uber. I want to talk about Magical Express. First thing I want to tell people, Uber on Disney property is wonderful. Anytime I've used it. The other thing is in Central Florida, for some reason, it's extremely dirt cheap. We Ubered from the Polynesian to Flamingo Crossings for $6. That's insane. That's obviously going to be better than the taxi. Mears taxis are the most ridiculously overpriced taxi service I've ever experienced. Not that their service is bad. I just think it's way, way, way too expensive. And then Magical Express, I always like Magical Express. I think it's still viable. I always had good experiences. Maybe there's one or two times where it took them a little while, but otherwise, I think Magical Express is a wonderful way to start and end the trip. It really keeps you in the magic even when you're going back and forth from the airport.
And I mean, the thing about Magical Express is the alternatives are not great and they're expensive. So Magical Express is
including Mears, which is terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So for what it is, and for the fact that it's free, you can't beat it.
Yeah, I mean, we often do Magical Express, especially coming into Orlando. There are times when departing, we'll rent a car just for the departure, just to give us another hour and a half to do something, either in the park.
They do try to pick you up real early.
Yeah, so there's a lot of wasted time at the airport when you're being picked up. But coming in, it really makes a lot of sense. I mean, we have not done anything other than that, at least when we weren't renting a car for the entire trip.
You know what I used to do to Magical Express? I don't know if I should even say this. That pickup time, obviously way too early. So I used to just pretend I got back to the hotel late and go to the front desk and be like, oh, I missed my bus. Could I still get one? They'd be like, yeah, just go out there and show them the ticket. And I just get on a later
Just get the
one.
next one, yeah.
Yeah, and it worked. I don't know if you could still do that, but that's what I
The other thing I really like about Magical Express is, if we're traveling with more than just my family. So if we're going with my parents or something, I'll always pretty much want to rent a car just to get around to places and go to like Theme Park Connection or something. But with 6 people, you can fit 6 people in a full-size car, but you can't fit 6 people and their luggage.
Yes.
And so Magical Express is perfect because you can send 2 or 3 people on Magical Express and the rest of the people in the car. You don't have to rent 2 cars that way. And you don't have to deal with trying to jam all that luggage in the car.
Wow.
And you can actually, if you send 2 or 3 people and you do the luggage tags right, they could take 4 or 5 people's worth of luggage with them on Magical Express. It really saves a lot of hassle with the rental car and dealing with luggage. And then when you do the reverse, you get the luggage service where you can check it at the hotel and then just drive back to the airport. And that is spectacular.
It's crazy what you guys have to think of.
But Magical Express luggage service and resort airline check-in are 2 of the greatest things that Disney has ever put in place.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. The resort airline check-in is amazing, spectacular.
Yes.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Someone in the chat brought up, yes, Mears does operate Magical Express. When I said Mears, I was referring to the taxi service.
Right.
While Magical Express is operated by Mears. When people typically say Mears, they're typically talking about the taxi service.
Yeah, it always used to be the buses, but when Magical Express began, the Mears buses did not really exist anymore.
Yeah, they're few and far between.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Uber is super viable, wonderfully priced in the Orlando area. I use it all the time. Stay away from taxis; are going to kill you. Price wise, they're going to kill you. And actually, fun fact: Orlando International Airport is working on allowing Uber to pick up to pick up from the airport, which it wasn't allowed previously. So that may be a thing soon, and that may be a real viable option considering Uber's prices. I take Uber home, or I should say, I take Uber to the airport, but you can't get it leaving Orlando International Airport. So it's always real cheap to go, and then end up taking a cab going home, and it's not, a good price. So maybe soon, if you don't want Magical Express, Uber will be an option from the airport as well.
Hey, Jason, on your last cruise, how did you guys get did you go from the resort to port, or did you go from the airport to the port?
We did. On the last cruise, we went from the airport. So we always fly in the day before a cruise.
Yeah, smart.
Because the last thing you want to do is miss the cruise. So what we did was we flew in the day before. We would rent a car for a day. And we would drive over to Cocoa Beach or something and stay in a hotel. And then the next morning, you can return the car. There's Budget and I think Alamo. Most of the big car rental places.
Yeah, I know National's over there. Yeah,
have locations right there at Port Canaveral and a free shuttle to the ship. Right. So what I did was I would take my whole family and all the luggage and drop them off at the terminal, the cruise terminal, and then I would go return the car myself with no luggage and hop on the shuttle and go back to the terminal. And, they would go through security and everything and get up into the terminal a while. And I would hop through security with no bags. That makes it pretty simple. And then, the lines to check in are usually pretty short and efficient, very efficient. So, renting a car for that one day from Orlando to Port Canaveral is cheap enough. For 4 people, it's much cheaper than the cruise buses. And then the other way around, we did the same thing. So after the cruise, we rented a car from Port Canaveral and kept it for the week we were at on property at Disney World, and then returned it to the airport. And, I think a lot of people do that. And even though you're picking up and dropping off at different locations, there's usually not a surcharge because I think it's something a lot of people tend to do. So it's not a big problem for the rental car companies.
Okay, interesting. I mean, that's what I typically have done. This time we're going to use Disney's transportation. So we'll see how that goes.
I've used the bus, the cruise line bus from the resorts to the cruise, and they're nice. I mean, they're very nice. They're comfortable. Pretty speedy. There's not much traffic that direction. You avoid Orlando and you avoid I-4. So it's nice. It's convenient. It certainly is very handy. I think it's just usually a little cheaper to rent a car. Kind of depends on how many people and how many cars you'd have to rent and stuff. But I do like the Disney Cruise Line buses. I think they're very, except for how expensive they are, they're very quick and efficient and comfortable.
Right.
What is the charge for that?
I want to say it's $70 a person one way.
Yeah, I don't think it's that much. I thought it was like 35 a person one way. So you
might be 70 round trip then.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is. I mean, we
should just throw that in.
That's what I've always been surprised at. I would think they want people to go to the resort and back to the resort from the boat, but whatever.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah, like Magical Express is free when you're staying at the Pop Century, but when you're paying 17 times that much to go on a cruise, they charge you for the bus.
Yeah,
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, we did it this time only because of the number of people that were going with us, but it's usually more cost effective to take other means.
What is behind you, David?
Felicity turned my basement into a dress-up area. So it's my daughter's costumes.
Does she have every princess?
She used to. They don't all fit now, but she's kept most of them.
Jeez, that's amazing.
Well, it was coming to me from costuming at the
studio
studios
earlier, and I didn't notice it, and then I finally looked.
See a backlot tour tram go behind them.
It looks like the Princess Fairy Tale Hall backstage area. Anyway. All right. Well, I think we finally covered everything in this.
We didn't cover the gondolas.
It's not even a thing yet.
Oh, it's a thing.
We're gonna end up spending like an hour on this week's podcast. yelling about gondolas. You, Justin, and I are going to just scream about gondolas for an hour. It's coming.
That's it.
I know it's coming. So let's leave it for there, not the show that has 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in it. Michelle, can you tell people about WDWNT, the app?
I may be able to do that for
Okay.
you. Nope, that's Wigs.
Because that's who brought us our in-depth discussion each and every week. It's WDWNT, the app.
WDW News Tonight is brought to you by WDWNT, the app, the official mobile application of WDW News Today. This app brings you all the latest Disney Parks news, podcasts, including WDW News Tonight, streamed right to your mobile device, park hours, videos, as well as the ability to listen and chat live on the go with this very show and many others. Download the app today for iOS, Android, and Amazon devices by searching for WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com for more information. WDWNT, the app, bringing the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news anywhere you want it.
Thank you, Michelle. We were going to talk about Rivers of Light dining packages. There is not enough time. We will have a big post on that coming up sometime tomorrow. I'm finishing that off. Nick, next week, Flower and Garden.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, is there any food on the menu that stood out to you? Any new stuff?
I haven't even looked yet.
Yeah.
I've been so with Rivers of Light and everything else that's been happening lately, I haven't had a moment.
I haven't had a real chance to see if there's new stuff that I want to try.
Josh and I will start pre-gaming probably this weekend and figuring out what we got to order and what the damage is going to be. And
See, pre-gaming for me means something totally different.
well, I mean, there'll be some of that too. We might take a trip to Total Wine and try some of the beverages that will be at the festival.
I want in some pre-gaming.
That's a thing that might happen.
That's happening.
Also, we're doing we got California Grill.
Oh, that's right.
That thing on Sunday, so that's going to be an adventure.
Why don't you ever invite me to anything?
Do you want to pay $123? You can come.
No.
It's still available.
We
Is
need
that
more.
the private thing we were talking about earlier?
Yes.
We need
I'm going to first
more.
one.
We need more Patreon support before we could.
See, but then you're corrupting the system. The idea is to send one person to cover it so we can provide photos and video and let people know if it's worth $123 and a night of their vacation. That's what we do.
I'm trying to get Tom Patreon support. Come on.
I understand that, but at the same time, I want people to
Hey, if
understand.
they want to do some
we only
Patreon
do
support,
what's
we can
necessary.
get massages and we can watch.
Right.
We
See,
can
that's
stream
the thing.
that.
Patreon's paying for me to go to that $1,000 dinner package in Disneyland.
We're not doing that.
It's paying for my, my valet parking, my upgraded preferred parking.
Wigs members, there is a post show coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Patreon. Bought me some pins yesterday.
You're so full of it. He's lying.
This
Don't
is why
listen to him.
people write sarcastic comments.
Jumbo pins.
Done?
I think so.
And remember, kids, the seatbelt check is around the corner.
Celebrating 50 years as a pop